This is business. This is social work. Business, social work. This is Creative Handicrafts. The year was 1984. Sister Isabel, a missionary from Spain, together with two women from a Mumbai slum, started to stitch toys. They weren't master craftspersons or expert salespeople, just women who wanted to take control of their own lives. And the idea caught on. Soon, 7 more women joined the group, away from poverty, drunken husbands, and hungry children. These women had found a family and their dignity. 1990. The family was growing. Soon enough, sitting on the veranda and stitching was no longer an option. They moved from churches to schools to hospitals with rolls of cloth and sewing machines in tow. Until one day, a chapel offered to donate their premises to them permanently. Creative Handicrafts finally had an address. The women were so excited, they treated and painted the walls of the room themselves. They had found a home. The women needed some kind of system to deal with the increasing number of members. So, they divided themselves into groups, each of which functioned like a small business. The founding members then became the board that made decisions for Creative. With the women themselves in charge, a childcare centre became the first order of business. Companies often debate whether childcare centres are an essential part of a business setup. But when the workers are owners and women, a childcare centre becomes a necessity, not a luxury. And so it was with Creative. It was 1996. Creative was selling mostly through churches and schools locally. Sister Isabel then started sending some of the products to her contacts in Spain and France. The idea of selling internationally was born. In 1997, Creative received its first export order from France. And in 1998, another order from Spain. Suddenly, these women, some of whom had never set foot outside their own homes, were taking orders internationally and exporting products that they once didn't think they could even make. The number of women had grown, but unlike a factory where a few reap the benefits while the others are merely employees, Creative wanted to make sure that everybody was an owner. And so, Creative held its first board elections. Every woman voted to elect the new board. Sister Isabel had managed the administration of Creative Handicrafts up to now. But now, it was time to get someone full-time. After trying women managers, MBA graduates and the like, the women finally settled on a young social worker for the job. But could a social worker run a business? The first year seemed to show positive results. The sales turnover showed almost a 50% growth. Creative also started its own savings and credit groups, so women did not have to take loans from money lenders. However, the international market that was looking so promising earlier had not yielded much more. And most of the sales came from exhibitions, which only gave Creative limited exposure. It was time to go back to the drawing board. First thing to change was that Creative moved from toys to garments, because garments offered more repeat customers. Second, the old machines were swapped for new ones. Then, 2 designers were invited from Spain and France to design Creative's new line. And last but not least, Creative opened its first shop. The changes resulted in rich dividends. But Creative was still depending partly on donors to keep them functioning. If Creative was to get more orders and become self-sustainable, quality and professionalism had to be nurtured.
In this organization, we are trying to combine business and social work so that you improve the lives of people using business as a means. Now, if it is pure business, at the end of the day, if someone is not producing well, you can ask the person to leave. But here we need to keep them producing and still make the organization sustainable. So you need to make profit, but we do not want to increase our profit at the expense of the weakest in the society.
Like all businesses, Creative started doing appraisals and evaluations. Designers too were hired. Quality checkers joined the ranks, many from among the women themselves. So as to not affect productivity and quality of the products, women were put in training centers before they were taken into groups. Still, there were those that were not able to make quality products. For them, Creative started a new venture called Asli Foods. The hard work bore fruit. Fair trade buyers internationally were thrilled to have utilitarian products to sell rather than decorative pieces. In 2005, Creative Handicrafts had their first profit sharing. And in 2009, Creative became completely self-sustainable. And today, Creative Handicrafts has opened a second shop. And is the proud owner of a 3-story building that the women call their home.
मेरे घर में कोई नहीं निकला बाहर, मैं पहली औरत हूँ जो घर से बाहर निकली। पहले घर में रहते थे तो शांत से रहते थे, चुपचाप। डर लगता था कुछ बोलेंगे तो डांटेंगे, मारेंगे। अभी मैं हक से बोलती हूँ, शांत से बोलती हूँ, झगड़ा भी करती हूँ।
शादी होके थोड़ा दिन के बाद फिर मैं आदमी पीने लगा। फिर बच्चे लोग का पढ़ाई का बहुत तकलीफ था। सब लोग ने बोले तो म्यूनसिपैलिटी में डाल करके, मैं नहीं बोली, मैं कमाती, मैं इंग्लिश मीडियम में डाल, बच्चों लोग का पढ़ाई का फीस, कैरिटी से हेल्प मिला। कैरिटी वाले सब समझते कि औरत लोग का तकलीफ क्या है।
जब मैंने खाली ग्रेजुएशन होने का सपना देखा था कब बचपन में, आज मैं पीएचडी होने के सपने देख रही हूँ। और जो खाली मैंने कभी ज्योग्राफी के किताब में देखा होगा वो सारे देश मैंने देख लिए। आई गॉट अ प्लेटफॉर्म फ्रॉम क्रिएटिव हैंडीक्राफ्ट, सो आई कुड प्रूव माई सेल्फ इन सम एंगल, इन सम कॉर्नर।
पहले सब लोग बोलते थे तुम कुछ कर नहीं पाओगी, मेरे को भी नहीं लगता था मैं कर पाऊंगी। यहाँ पे आने के बाद हाँ ऐसा लगा कि हाँ कर सकती हूँ, अपने घर वाले को भी संभाल सकती हूँ, अपने बच्ची को भी संभाल सकती हूँ।
मैं यहाँ जब आई थी तो खाली अपनी लाइफ बनाने के लिए आई थी, लेकिन यहाँ आने के बाद औरों की लाइफ देखने के बाद में कि नहीं, हम अपने लिए तो करेंगे, लेकिन हो सकता है तो दूसरे को भी हाथ लेंगे। मतलब पूरा जीवन को देखने का नज़रिया ही बदल गया था।
Can business and social work coexist? The debate goes on. But for these women in the steaming, overcrowded slum in suburban Mumbai, the answer is, and always will be, a resounding yes.